Hi, it's Jen, your functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner and expert. And lately there's been a lot of talk about all these thyroid problems that have been going on. And I want to talk to you this week about why it might not be your thyroid's fault and what might be actually going on. Now, if you haven't been diagnosed with a thyroid disorder yet, chances are that you will be at some point in your life, and they are actually pretty high. According to the American Thyroid Association, the ATA, more than 12% of the US population will develop a thyroid condition sometime during their life. The ATA also states that an estimated 20 million Americans have some type of thyroid disorder, and up to 60% of those people with a thyroid disorder are unaware of their condition. Also, that women are 5 to 8 times more likely than men to have a thyroid condition, and 1 in 8 women will develop a thyroid disorder during their lifetime. Now, undiagnosed thyroid disorders may increase risk for certain health conditions such as cardiovascular disease, osteoporosis, and even infertility. And women with inadequately addressed hypothyroidism have an increased risk for miscarriages, preterm delivery, and severe developmental problems in their children. Now, this is more than just a US population problem. A recent study out of India actually showed that 10.95% of the study group suffered from hypothyroidism, in which 7.48% were unaware of it, and 3.4% were aware of it, and 3.47% were not. Now, in my functional health coaching practice, I have personally seen a rise in people coming to me with either known or unknown thyroid conditions. Heck, I was even diagnosed with one myself back in 2016. But what if you've been misled to believe that your weight woes, low energy, fatigue, cold hands and feet, hair loss, and other thyroid-like symptoms were all your thyroid's fault and there was really something else going on? With thyroid conditions on the rise, we have to ask the question, why? Why is this happening? The thyroid certainly doesn't wake up one morning and just decide to stop working or doing its job. So what has changed? Why are there so many people knowingly and unknowingly suffering from thyroid disorders around the world and everywhere? Some might say that it's because doctors are getting better at diagnosing thyroid disorders, or maybe because there is more awareness that is being created about thyroid conditions, both of which probably hold some truth. But I want to know, what about the people who have been diagnosed with a thyroid condition, prescribed thyroid medication, and still suffer from their thyroid symptoms? Or what about all of the people who are estimated to unknowingly suffer from a thyroid condition and are yet to be diagnosed? There simply has to be more to the thyroid disorder story than what is being told. And what if it's not a thyroid problem actually at all, but there's something else going on? So in this week's blog, I want to break down some of the most common contributing factors to thyroid disorders and reveal why thyroid issues really aren't the thyroid's fault at all, and what steps you can take to support your thyroid better, to either prevent a thyroid issue or to help reverse one. So let's zoom out and look at the big picture for a moment to really grasp how a thyroid problem could actually come to be. The thyroid is a gland that is part of what is called the endocrine system, which is a network of glands within the body that produce hormones. Now, within the endocrine system, there is also the hypothalamus, which I like to refer to as the endocrine CEO, because it basically runs the show. And then there is the pituitary gland, which I like to refer to as the president of operations, because it takes direct orders basically from the hypothalamus, the CEO. Now, as the CEO, the hypothalamus is constantly kind of observing the marketplace, aka the body, and it's getting feedback about what's going on. And based upon the signals and the feedback that it's giving, it will give directives to the pituitary gland, who then tells us that the thyroid what to do. Now, inversely, the pituitary gland also receives signals from the thyroid about how much hormone is being produced, and they communicate about what is supposed to happen. By simply understanding the chain of command within the endocrine system, you can start to see how a thyroid problem could simply be a missing communication coming downstream, possibly from the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland, or based upon other things that are happening in the body. A misfiring in communication by the hypothalamus or the pituitary gland are just one example of why a thyroid condition may not be your thyroid's fault actually, and there could be something bigger at play. Even then, we want to ask though, what causes these miscommunications among the glands? What is contributing to them? So what sparks these mixed signals within the endocrine system and the glands is something for us to kind of uncover. The answers are somewhat simple, and in most cases, the causes are actually within your control, which is good news. So here are the top 3 contributing factors to thyroid disorders and what you can actually do about them in order to better support your thyroid. The first one is chronic stress and dysfunctional adrenals. When you experience any kind of stress, whether it's emotional, mental, or physical, our hypothalamus signals the pituitary gland to tell the adrenal glands to release your stress hormone called cortisol. When cortisol is released, it redirects your body's resources and it deprioritizes anything that is not absolutely necessary in order to deal with whatever that stressor is. So it will deprioritize things such as digestion and thyroid hormone production. In this modern day world, we encounter stress on the regular, and if we don't take action to de-stress, our thyroid hormone will basically tank as a result of this. The reality is, though, is that we can't always avoid stress. Crappy coworkers and unexpected traffic are bound to happen. But we can offset the impacts of stress by taking a proactive approach and having tools in place for when we do encounter these types of stressors. Anytime you adopt the deep rhythmic breathing patterns of a relaxed person, per se, it automatically flips the switch in the brain and the hypothalamus, and it reduces cortisol levels, allowing the thyroid to return back to its normal work. So you can proactively support your thyroid by incorporating a deep breathing or meditation practice into your daily routine just to offset any stress that you might encounter. Now, contributing factor number 2 is environmental agents and exposures. With over 120,000 toxic chemicals swirling around in our environment, their effects are bound to catch up to us. And according to the climb in thyroid disorders, it is certainly showing. Some of these chemicals have been classified as endocrine disruptors, meaning that they directly and negatively impact our glands and our hormones within the endocrine system. Now, endocrine disrupting chemicals includes things such as chlorine found in our shower and drinking water, BPA found in plastic or canned goods, phthalates that are found in lotions and personal care products, and even fire retardants that coat our walls and our furniture all over our house. Now, we can't always see, hear, or feel these chemicals, but they are all around us. So you can proactively support your thyroid by minimizing the chemical exposures that you are aware of by doing things such as installing a shower filter and drinking water filter, using glass or stainless steel instead of plastic, buying non-toxic and eco-friendly personal care and home products, or by adding a HEPA air filter system to your home and getting out in nature as much as possible for fresh air and sunlight. Additionally, you can also eat foods and take daily supplements to support your body's natural detoxification capacity so that it can flush those toxins out. Now, number 3 is a leaky gut and a sluggish liver. Your liver and gut convert the largest majority of your T4 to T3 thyroid hormone. Hence another reason why a thyroid disorder may not actually be your thyroid's fault, but actually the result of a faulty liver or leaky gut. The liver can get bogged down and the gut can become leaky due to excess due to toxins, excess hormones, medications, inflammatory foods, poor sleep habits, and or the lack of nutrients. So the keys for supporting the liver and gut for optimal thyroid function is to address the stress and reduce your toxic load, as I already discussed, in addition to eating an anti-inflammatory diet, getting adequate sleep from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. most nights of the week, moving your body daily to boost its detox capacity, and taking supplements for any possible nutrient deficiencies that might be going on under the hood. Now, when my clients focus on these 3 areas, they frequently see a reduction in their so-called thyroid symptoms, and in some cases, they are able to come off of their thyroid medication and never return to it. They can just manage their thyroid health through their lifestyle. By taking action in these 3 areas, I've also been able to manage my thyroid better, get off thyroid medication, and reach remission with Hashimoto's. So don't let the thyroid statistics scare you or blame your thyroid for not doing its job when it really may not even be your thyroid's fault. Take control of your health and take action to support your thyroid in the ways that it needs it most, so you don't become one of those statistics. Now, to help more people get to the bottom of their so-called thyroid problems and to solve them for good, I've actually opened up my schedule to help 5 new clients. If you want to be one of those people, simply schedule a complimentary Ideal Health and Weight Discovery session with me by clicking on the links below or going back to the email where you found this video. And if you have a friend or family member in your life who wants to solve their thyroid problems once and for all, please share this video and blog with them to help them finally get back to feeling like themselves again, or for the very first time. Now, I hope you guys found this helpful, and I'll see you next week on the blog.